Hi guys, it's Alex outside the Etihad. I've just watched Manchester City 5, Huddersfield Town 1. A consummate performance, another step on the road to Wembley, getting a little bit closer. There's a lot to take away from that game, and I'm going to run down 5 things we learned. I think the first one that I certainly learned from watching that game is we've got a lot better at dealing with teams. We're not too overconfident. We've been a couple of times this season where we've underestimated sides and we've paid the price. And certainly, first 15, 20, 25 minutes, it looked like it was going that way, but we reacted well, we grew into the game, and ultimately we got to focus and show our class and look like the better team all the way through. Second thing we learned today is that the FA Cup is a winnable competition. All right, that's a suspicion that many of us have had already this season, but you look at it now, we're into a quarter-final. We play a Middlesbrough side, they're out of form, that are struggling for goals. A Middlesbrough side we owe a little bit of revenge to in the FA Cup, and you think we can get through that. And we're in a semi-final at Wembley, and at that point, anyone can win it. And all of a sudden, Pep Guardiola, whose season looked like it was in tatters in January, looks like he could potentially, if he plays his cards right, finish his first season as Manchester City boss with a trophy in the cabinet. Third thing we learned today is something that I've complained about earlier in the season. It's how we react to referees. Earlier on in the game, there was a handball, a couple of fouls that didn't go our way, and you're starting to hear the fans get on the referee's back, and you're starting to see the players get frustrated. But in previous games where we've reacted to that terribly, you're starting to see Manchester City players pick up their own bookings and just caring more about complaining to the referee than they are playing football. Didn't see any of that today. We saw discipline, we saw focus, and you saw players playing to the whistle. Right before the first goal, there was a handball shout, and you didn't see the play, so I'm carrying on, and ultimately that led to a goal. It's something we've got better at, it's something we've learned, and it's something you want to see more of. Fourth thing I learned today is all about Garcia, and that he could become a serious Manchester City player. He could become a first team regular. Maybe not this season, but you're looking at the side that he's slotted into with Fernandinho on one side and Kevin De Bruyne on the other, and he didn't look out of place. All right, he wasn't man of the match, didn't set the world alight, but he doesn't have to be at this stage. You saw first half, he looked confident, he looked assured on the ball, and second half, he was dropping back and guarding the back four, even dropping into a back five when Huddersfield had the ball. And for a player that you think is maybe someone on a game like this, he's going to pass it sideways, not draw too much attention to himself. He was getting in there, covered every blade of grass, and I for one was really impressed, and I want to see more of him, and hopefully he's going to pick up more and more appearances throughout this competition, and hopefully a couple in the league as well. And finally, the fifth thing I learned today is right at the end is that Kelechi Iheanacho can still do it for Pep Guardiola. All right, he only got about 10, 12 minutes at the end of the game, but he got himself on the score sheet. He got himself into a couple of dangerous situations, and he's given Guardiola something to think about. The papers have had their say. There's rumours that he's fallen out with Guardiola, or there's a Yaya Toure-style agent situation developing. Who knows what's going on? But ultimately, every time he plays, he seems to get on the score sheet, and Pep Guardiola can't ignore that. And everyone's talking about Aguero and Jesus. It's up to Kelechi to take every single chance that he's got. He did that today. I want to see him knocking on the door saying, look, I want Aguero to get rested for the Sunderland game. Why not pick me, save Aguero for the Champions League? It's up to Kelechi to make his own chances. Winners make their own luck, and I'm a big Kelechi Iheanacho fan, and I want to see him make a lot more luck. So those are the 5 things that I've learned from this game. Let me know the ones I've missed out. I'm sure you learned some things too. Tell me all about it in the comments. Hit the like button while you're there. It means the world to us. And this is BlueMoonRisingTV. I'll see you again.